Hello, my friends, and welcome to the Shed in the Woods, otherwise known as my studio. Today's stream is brought to you by Roger's shitty internet, which I've been fighting with for literally years at this point, trying all kinds of different things. And I think I figured it out. I think, because this is rural, I think what it is, and this is just my theory, I think they have to throttle the upload speeds just in order to get decent download speeds to the neighborhood. That's my theory. I have no idea. Seems to be okay right now. We'll see how the stream goes. I am hopeful and optimistic. Anyway, if you're new here, this is just a place for us to listen to music, check out each other's mixes, maybe offer some advice and some feedback, and just hang out, get nerdy, talk about some shit, that sort of thing. Ram has a solution. Move. No. That's not a solution. The solution is Roger's fix internet. Anyway, it seems to be okay now, so we'll move on from the internet topic because it gets my blood boiling. Cool. Let's move over to FL Studio. And also, I'm going to just go ahead and adjust my camera just a tiny bit. Did I go the right way? I did. Hey, now I'm more center, and that's professional because I'm a professional streamer. I make at least 3 cents a year, which is enough for a teaspoon of coffee. All right. The first track. Oh, also, if you're new here, again, and you want to have your tracks heard on the stream and get some feedback, go over to my Discord server. It's discord.gg/FWLR music. It's at the bottom of the screen. Go there, and the instructions are there. We'll have a listen next week. Cool. Let's start off with Culture B5, Almost Feeling Alive. Almost. Okay, I'm going to stop there for a sec. So, the intro, it moved along pretty good. I do think that halfway through you could have brought in some sort of percussion, a shaker, a little hi-hat loop or something just to help pick up the pace a little bit. I wasn't like super bored. It wasn't like an immediate problem, but it definitely could have a bit more pacing halfway through the intro there. Now, when this, I appreciate... I appreciate the girthiness of the bottom end here. I appreciate a good girthy bottom end, if you know what I'm saying. But it's a little much. And also it feels like there's some like dissonance or something. Like right there, I feel like the bass is trying to go down a semitone, but it doesn't, or something. There's something in the bottom end that feels like it's playing the wrong note, or it's like interacting a little weird. But right off the bat, the biggest thing right now is just this curve right here. Let's just go ahead and we're gonna do this. We're gonna take these multi-bands. I'm not going to do any compression. I'm just going to pull this down 6 dB. I'm going to pull this down 3 dB, pull this down 1 dB, pump this up 1 dB. Let's just see what that looks like. Now it's starting to look a little bit, it's starting to, oh, it's not sidechain. That's probably the interaction I'm hearing in the bottom end. Like your kick drum and your bass is probably interacting with each other in a not good way. So look at this curve now that I've pulled 7 dB, 4 dB, 2 dB, and added 2 dB. All of a sudden, all the rest of the track has a chance to live, you know? So that's definitely, and you shouldn't do it in the master like this, but obviously this is the only option I have because I don't have the stems. But you get my point. It's very bass heavy, very bass heavy. I do like the sass of it. You know, the vibe is cool. The kind of detuned vocal thing is cool. I like the creepy harpsichord. The instrumentation and the musical aspect of it is great. I just, the balance of the frequencies are not. Yeah, that's basically it. It's a cool track, but man, she's thick in the bottom, you know? She's just a little too thick. It's a nice sound. Like there's a lot of great sounding things in here, but it just needs to be, oh, sorry, it needs to be, you know, or I guess it's backwards on your screen, so this way. Yeah. But besides that, it's a cool track. I think you said it was an older track, so maybe dig it back up and see what you can do with it. Cool. Thanks for sending. All right, we got Mr. Time Zones over here. Swiss Cheese, Deadline, The Seasons EP. Okay. Okay, what is going on with this piano is like somehow palm muted or something. It's like dana dana dana. I don't know, the piano's kind of weird to me a little bit. So the intro is quite long and I feel like my ears and my eyes got paper cuts from these transients. Oh my God. That is insanely transient-y. I feel like that might be a bit overboard. Like we're going rail to rail for a very short amount of time. The intro is cool, but it just kind of overstays its welcome. Like we get like chiptune stuff, that's great, you know, but it just kind of at a certain point, I'm like, hey, I'm ready for the next part. I like that low pass thing building up. It's building anticipation, you know, as you're opening up the low pass. That's cool. This is kind of where I really fell off. Like, we got how much? We got 30 seconds of a bad sounding piano. And I don't know. It's not doing anything for me. Like, the chords are cool and everything, but it just feels very like, okay, now we're listening to piano. Like, why not just go to, I'm going to take a wild guess here and say this is 128. Why not just cut this out? Like fuck the piano thing. So there's some clipping happening here too. This, to me, is a better move, but at the same time, it's still not that great because it's still not built. Like, you built up this anticipation, right? Yeah, this is a better arrangement. You have managed my anticipation a lot more clearly and logically if you do it this way. Because you get, you're getting excited, and we get the drop, okay? So the arrangement here is much better, in my opinion, if you did it that way. If you cut out like a minute and a half of just needless build that's not really building. This is, the ride is real loud. The bass is not very deep. I'm almost hearing the second harmonic more than the fundamental. Overall, the whole thing is squashed in a not good way. Like, it's getting real hurt by the mastering, by the aggressive mastering. I'm trying to think of what I would recommend you do first. I think getting the arrangement nailed down is the most important thing, because you could have the best sounding sections, but if they're not presented in a logical way that manages our emotions and gets us excited and delivers on that excitement, and then right when we're getting kind of exhausted of this beat or whatever, you break down and you give us a break and you give us a chance to miss things, and then you build us back up. Getting that arrangement and that flow right, I think, is going to be the biggest improvement that you have to this track. I can already kind of tell just by the overall length of it. Yeah, we're still almost 6.5 minutes long. And also I see this piano thing again. Just put yourself in the listener's seat, shoes, socks, because the piano, it's just like even if it was the best sounding piano in the world, are we going to want to sit through 30 some seconds of just piano chords? The answer is probably no. Unless it was the most incredible sounding piano and you were playing some sort of avant-garde kind of style. But for dance music, you got to manage that. You got to manage the flow, manage the emotions, and manage the anticipation. So, yeah, there are some other technical things, like I saw somebody mention in the chat that your bass should go down an octave. I think they're probably not wrong about that. Like, musically, it's good. Musically, it's solid. It's just the arrangement. The arrangement is the biggest problem. If anything, pick a track that you really like and that really gets you going, and just analyze the structure, try to understand why they did certain things. I think I can't remember who it was that was they said something like, if you want to learn how to make a certain style of music, like the how-to manual is right there. It's you just have to listen to the track and break it down, and they're explaining to you how to do it. I think you should also think about the transient. The transient of the kick is very. Hold on. I don't know. I honestly, I think the you should just go and get the arrangement right, and then work on the production side of things. It's definitely it's a solid track. The song part of it is solid, and yeah, I think it's just the arrangement. Okay, cool. I feel like I'm repeating myself, so I'm going to move on. Thank you for sending. I hope that helps. All right, we got what looks to be a short one, but okay, it is a short one. We got Leewan. I don't know if I'm saying that right. FFFFF.
Flatfoot Friday. Flatfoot Friday.
That was fun. Flatfoot Friday. I actually kind of like the length of it too. That's what she said. So I think overall it's a little dull in the top end. There's so much tasty like musicianship happening. It's kind of like a Lewis Cole style bass line. Yeah, it's real loud in the lower mid section here. The clap is very loud too, but let's have a listen. I just kind of I pulled some of those low mids and low end out. To me, that sounds better. It makes the track a little more clear because that bass line's really, it's funky as shit, but it's also right up in my face, and it's hard to listen to like anything else, you know? I might have pulled a little too much out, but you get the idea. The vocals could be a little more clear. I feel like the track is maybe pushed a bit hard in the master. Like that clap snare thing is quite up front. But overall, I think it is mostly the bottom end of the track and the low mids being very up front. That's kind of getting in the way of the clarity. I'm not getting the clarity of the mix, I guess. Super funky and very, very fun. It's very musical and yeah, some of those drums. I feel like some of those drums are coming through the speaker and slapping me in the face. And not necessarily in a good way. I know like sometimes that sounds like it could maybe be a compliment, but in this case, it's kind of, they just kind of stick out to me. That bass line too, it could just be a matter of like EQing the bass line to, you don't want to lose that bottom end thump, but maybe just emphasize a little bit more of the higher frequencies and bring that down bring the bottom end down a little bit. Overall, super fun track. I think with a little bit more mixing and maybe a little gentler mastering. I don't think it needs to be mastered like an EDM banger. It's like this fun jazzy track, right? But anyway, very cool, very fun. Thank you for sending. Let's move on. We got Mazel Darby. Mazel Darby. Balila. Mirrors. I can't read any of these. Gabritiez remix. Reading is my strong point.
Why do
right. I see somebody asked me, is there a plugin you wish existed that doesn't? No. Not off the top of my head. I don't have the issue where I don't have the tools I need. I have the issue where I lack inspiration sometimes to use those tools. So maybe a tool that would help with inspiration, and that's as specific as I can be. Okay, cool. So this is a very interesting and very powerful remix. I dig it. The thoughts that I have in order that they came to me was the clap sounds like somebody took two cardboard boxes and hit them together. You can really hear it. Where was it? Here? It's like, it's kind of an interesting clap sound, but I don't know if it's right for this track. I don't know. In my taste, it just kind of stuck out as like, oh, that's a cardboard clap. Okay, then the next thought I had, and take it with a grain of salt. If you love the clap, then I'll go fuck myself. During these build sections, the vocals get very lost. They get very buried underneath the builds, and it's kind of it's not a good idea to have those vocals in there if you really can't. I can't understand what she's saying. I don't understand. I can't hear the words. Like here where it kind of goes into like, who cares? Like, we don't need to hear her there, but I think it must have been this section. Yeah, you got that big, like, that EDM riser sound, that thing, and it's just stepping all over the vocals. Don't be afraid to maybe thin it out a bit, you know, bring some of those elements back, let the vocals shine. And then, because really you have kind of this build and then you have this build, you know, you're like building into a build. Like maybe at that section, that's where you can really start hammering everything and stepping on the vocals. But if you're going to have the vocals delivering lyrics, we should be able to understand them. Okay, that was my next thought. And then when it got to the drop, I feel like the sub, I'm hearing a lot of second harmonics on the sub, like the next octave up from, like, let me get my trusty 3 oscillator here and see if I can figure it out. Yeah, you're playing D. Yeah, I'm hearing a lot of that second harmonic instead of like the fundamental that is in there, but whatever that is, that octave up, whether it's part of your sound design or a layer or something, it kind of makes it feel not as deep. It doesn't feel as powerful in the bottom end because I'm hearing that octave up sub range more. It almost seems louder than the bottom end. And then I noticed it at the start and I was trying to wrap my head around it, but it seemed to go away. Yeah, like during this section, I don't feel it's as much of an issue. So maybe whatever's going on sound design wise here is really kind of tilting that sub range to emphasize the second harmonic. And then once you get to this section, then we really feel that like bottom end, right? And then the last thing I'll say about it is the bottom end here is a little messy. Let's solo it. It feels a little rumbly. Yeah, I'm not sure what it is, but you got to go and investigate all of the elements that are contributing to the sub range and maybe high pass a lot of them except the sub bass, because listen to this section right here. Like that is, it should sound like that when I play it, more or less, right? But so I think my biggest, that's my biggest note is make sure the two biggest notes, make sure the vocals cut through at all times when they're delivering words that we're supposed to hear and understand, and go back and do an audit on your sub range. Make sure that it's nice and solid. Make sure that there's, I'm not going to say there shouldn't be any rumblies or anything like that, because sometimes you can get a bit too clinical and it can get a little bit too clean. But I'm saying a lot. I'm realizing this now, but yeah, I think you need to go and make sure the foundation to this track is a little bit more solid and a little bit more grounded in that bottom D. All right, cool remix though. Let's have a listen to the last part here. Oh, turn on the rest of the song. That's cool. It's kind of like a Moomba section. I'm not sure if there's a snare on every hit there, but I'm not hearing any difference between the kick and the snare. Yeah, the kick and the snare both kind of sound the same to me. So it might just be as simple as adding in something like, let's go like this. Snares. Something like you know what I mean? Like a tail. A tail to the snare to make it feel more snary, because right now it doesn't sound very snary. It sounds very just kick-y. But besides that, sound design's cool. Be careful if you're doing a bunch of different basses, synth basses and stuff like that. Got to make sure that the bottom ends are all agreeing. You don't have to have one sub bass. They could each be adding their own sub, but if you have two basses with sub ranges, then they're not going to work well together if you play them at the same time. Okay, cool. Let's move on. Ice Kiab. I don't remember how to say it. The Last Stand. This is a very dramatic name. That's cooking loud. Holy shit. Very cool, very heavy, very loud, very harsh, very painful. Those are the varies that I have for this one. Okay. This is very, it's too loud. I have to turn my speakers. I'm going to turn my speakers down. Okay. The guitars are just, they're awesome sounding. If you did record those yourself, then congratulations. That's wicked. Congratulations. But man, it's so loud. Holy shit. Also, you're gonna see, hold on a sec. Display primary. Okay. There we go. Sorry, I'm just adding something to my OBS here. You're gonna see the OBS in action. Oh, wait, did I do it? Did I do it? No, I don't think I did. Shit. Wait, what did I do? Oh no. Oh no. I have somehow messed it up. Display capture. No, not you. Oh, I see what I did wrong. Okay, hold on. Sorry. Why did I choose to do this right now is the real question, and I don't have the answer. Go down. Okay. Display capture. Oh, there we go. There we go. Now we're, oh yeah. I am the OBS master. And then we take this guy and we go like this. Oh, yes. Here we go. Sorry, I'm just trying to add some like, there we go. Oh my God. Look at how fancy that is. Dope. Thank you for staying with me while I edited my OBS scene. That's not that great, but we'll roll with it for now. My biggest thoughts on this are the guitars are very, very, very loud. And I'm actually kind of impressed that you have somehow made the guitars so loud, but the drums still, like, I'm kind of impressed at how loud this goes. But I would love to hear it not quite so loud. I'd love to hear this too quiet. And then I can push it and see how far it can be pushed. I think it's pushed too far. It's clipping a little bit. Yeah, I mean, the whole thing is 0 dB. Like look at the RMS on Ozone. Minus 1.1. The RMS is basically like, yes, we have RMS, and it is all of the RMSs. It's too loud. Biggest note, too loud. But it's like really heavy. So like, don't turn it down that much, but turn it down a little bit. And that is my biggest note for that. Cool. All right. Moving on. That's funny. Binary RMS. Oh my God. Speaking of binary RMS, look at this fucking bratwurst. All right. Let's have a listen. Oh, sorry. It's industry. Gimme. Remix. that was a ride. Okay, what are my thoughts on that? That was fucking wild. It went places and it did things. The clap is rancid, to quote Rayhem. The clap, I seriously, the whole time I was listening to this, I was like, hey, what does that clap remind me of? It's so pre-shifted. I feel like it's it's in a different fucking time zone. Like, I like shitty sounding claps. I find that they have a lot of character. I'm not a fan of this clap. It sounds like it's in a different time zone, and it sounds like it's also like coming out of a different set of speakers, because it just sounds like it's on, like you have the whole track and then you have the clap just like smacking me in the face. It kind of sounds like, okay. Oh fuck, I've almost got it. It sounds like if you had, those fans that you see depicted in a lot of like Asian culture that unfold and then the women fan themselves and it folds up. It sounds like if you took one of those and you hit somebody on the head with it, and then like the all the folds kind of, they hit. So I think that's the closest I'm gonna get for an accurate representation of the clap sound. Was I saying clap or kick the whole time? I don't know. Was I saying kick? I meant clap. Anyway, cool. So I don't like the clap. That's my first note. It might be okay if it was down and not as pre-shifted. I like pre-shifted claps, but they have to feel like they're leading into the transient of the kick, right? Like it needs to feel like it's not like getting to the destination before the transient of the kick. I think that's the problem that I'm having with it. The other thing is the vocals. Like, whoa, loud. I think what's going to do you wonders is, sure, have it fucking bratwursted up over here, just making an absolute unit of a sausage. But like during these breakdown and build up sections where you have the vocals and stuff, maybe go a little easier. Don't push it quite so hard so that you don't have to, like, you are pushing the vocals through the speakers into my ears. Like right there too. Oof, I got my speakers cooking, and I am cooking up some sausages, let me tell you. And my ears are saying delicious, but they're also saying that's like a high calorie meal. My ears want it, but they know it's bad for them, but they're still going to eat it, right? Not like it has much of a choice. I mean, my ears do what I tell them to. So anyway, maybe just relax a little when it comes to the vocal parts that don't need to be absolutely fucking banging. Give the track a little bit more dynamic. And that would also allow your drop is banging. But if the part leading up to it was slightly less banging, then the drop would be banging. It would be double banging. It'd be like a threesome. I'm still torn on that clap. Like, I kind of like it. I don't know if you need to change the clap. I think it just needs to be less pre-shifted and a little bit lower. But I do agree. I think it was Bleed that set it up a little while ago that this would absolutely destroy a DJ set, like in a good way. I definitely think it would, because it's just so much shit going on. I could just picture so many people be like, oh my God, this is my jam. And they're like, wait, no, this is my jam too. Like, it would just be back to back mind blowing. My favorite part of the track is this bass though. It's sick. That is a sick bass. I love the major third harmonic on the, it's good. Overall, great track. Maybe go a little easier on certain sections and give the track a bit more dynamics, and a bit easier on the vocal loudness and harshness. Cool. Thank you for sending. I enjoyed. Moving on. Foison. Let's not talk about it. Okay. So does that mean we're just going to listen and then we'll move on and to the next song? Let's have a listen.
I was kind of upset there. I'm sorry I said those things.
It's all right. I think I can understand why I'm disgusting to you.
Well, look, I like you. I wouldn't keep coming here if I didn't like you.
But if it's sickening for you,
It's not. I enjoy it. I look forward to it. It's the one thing I have to look forward to.
you don't have to say that.
Well, I wouldn't. I would never say it if it wasn't true.
May I stay then?
Okay, I'm going to stop it here for a sec. The 60 hertz hum, unless you are producing on a VCR, I get it like at the start or whatever for a texture thing, but like get rid of it once we get into the beat, because now there's just this random 60 hertz note being played the entire time. And I don't even know what note 60 hertz is or what it's close to. It's probably like a fucking G or something. I have no idea. But yeah, just buzzing in the background. Like it's doing a thing back here. But I would like, I don't know. I don't know if the 60 hertz hum is really necessary for any of it, but if you want it in that first part, I get it. When it gets to this,
Look, I like you.
I'd lose it. Okay, let's, oh, sorry, back it up a bit. Yeah, so I love it musically. It's super fun. It's super yeah, like Mozarty, or maybe not Mozart, but you know, classical. It's got that medieval swagger, you know. I feel like a gangster, but instead of having a Glock, I have a sword or something, or like the ability to shame thy woman or as a weapon. Anyway, it's super cool. I do think I think the 60 hertz hum is not really doing anything for it. I do think the pacing could be a bit better. Like, I know like there's like some dialogue happening in the background, but I'm not really going to get the dialogue stuck in my head. So we're literally chopping. Okay. All right. That makes more sense. Thank you. Yeah, because like you're relying on that melody a lot, and we're just kind of like rocking the melody for quite a while there without really much changing, because there's like this movie dialogue stuff happening in the background. But I don't think that that's enough to justify the length of this section. When I got to like this full part. I feel like if I think you said this was like an older track or something. I think if you just cracked it open and started playing with the mix a little bit, it's not bad. The mix is just maybe a little bland. Like that open hi-hat on the snare is super sassy, but like the mix has it just sitting a little too nicely. Like it just sounds like, hey, there's a drummer, as opposed to like, damn, that's a crunchy hip hop beat, you know? So maybe getting a little more edgy with the mix and production might help. It's super fun. It's sassy. It's fun. It's musical. I dig it. I hope that Chopin's lawyers don't come taking down my videos or whatever. Yeah. Anyway, those are my thoughts. It's a cool track. Pacing could be a bit better. Get rid of the 60 hertz hum. Cool. Let's listen to a Dexy Blackout. All right. Make sure everything's off. Here we go. Oh, the ending. Yeah, so this is like there's a lot of really good production happening here. I feel like the track is lacking a bit of an identity or a theme, and it could come down to the vocals literally sounding like you just recorded a dinner time conversation with your dad and he's just talking in the background. But you said you were going to you were going to replace them or something. Yeah, I mean you have a lot of solid stuff to work with here, production wise, music wise, mix, master, all that shit sounds pretty good. The thing it's lacking is just like that memorable thing that defines the song. Like, what is this song? Is this the song that has that thing that does that, or the words that say this? You know, it's kind of lacking that identity. I think in the drop it says fire. Fire or something. And that's really weird. I don't know what fits good here. Electronic dad music. That's funny. Yeah, I'm not saying the vocals sound bad. It's just the way they're mixed. They're just kind of like they just kind of sound like background noise or something, right? Do I like Pringles? Yes, everybody likes Pringles. Who doesn't like Pringles? Would I go out of my way to buy a can of Pringles? Absolutely not. If somebody had Pringles, would I eat them all on them? Yes. I hope that answers your question. Yeah, I think like the track is so full sonically, you're going to have a hard time just putting vocals in. You're going to have to probably carve out space for them, not like with an EQ, but like by stopping the music for a second and having the vocal and then coming back in, or maybe have the vocals in the breakdown sections and not so much in the drop sections. You've just got this wall of production, and it's going to be really hard to have any sort of vocal cut through that without making some pretty significant changes. The other thing you could do is take a page out of the pendulum book and rely more on like some sort of like synth melody or something, right? Like some sort of hooky synth melody that you could have cutting through the mix a bit easier. But what you have here is a very good wall of sound that needs to be turned into a song somehow, and maybe vocals does that. Maybe that's what they're there for. Like you have da na 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 na, like that's in there, right? But it's not really drilled into my head in a way that would tell me that that's like the main melody of the track. Like it's in the drop, but it's in the drop with a lot of other stuff that's playing along with it. It's not like not agreeing with it, but there's no sections where we just hear da 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 da, you know. Like you have it there on the bass, but the lead sound I don't think comes in until the drop. Like you're fading it in the build, and then we get it in the drop. And that could be, you know, maybe it's a different synth or a different instrument or something that's doing da 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 to drive that home. Or maybe it's in the breakdown sections, things kind of chill out for a second and we get a chance to sink our teeth into that melody. It's not a bad melody. It's not like I'm not like losing my fucking mind over it, but at the same time, it could just be the presentation of it. Maybe if you strip things back a little bit, da 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 da, and then like recontextualize the chord progression around it and gave it a bit of an identity, and then slapped us with the drop, then maybe that's the way to go. But yeah, overall, I don't really have any major mix production technical stuff. I think you just need to really dial in on a theme and push it as the theme in this track, and then it'll become a song and you will make millions of dollars. Don't quote me on that. There's no guarantee. Okay, thank you for sending. That was very cool and fun. Cool and fun. All right, Cat Attack. At least cars don't break your heart. I mean, you clearly have never broken a car, because that shit will break your heart. Okay, let's have a listen. Oh my God, wait, before I hit play, did you use the Pulsar's turbo sounds? Let's find out. He used the turbo sound. Okay. I only have one thing to say about this. Collab, bro. I have an album with dark stuff with like 16 tracks, and I would love to make this into a song with you if you would be down. I love the title, I love the sound of it, I love where it's going. So if you would be down to work on this with me, then I would be down to throw it on the album as number 17 or whatever fucking amount of songs I have at this point. It's dope. It's a dope start. It needs to be turned into a song, and I think I can help with that. Yeah, it's sick. It was what? It was a minute and a half of great emotion. So, yeah, cool. Thanks. I'll hit you up. Cool. All right. I don't usually collab, bro. That's weird for me to even say. Thanks for sending. It's dope. Thank you. Fortnite? Is that what, I don't know what, thank you, FT something, 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 YT. Thank you. I appreciate that. And I'm glad that you enjoy the music that I make. It would be a good racing commercial about a way of one racer. Maybe what it would be I don't know. Okay. I'm having a hard time reading. FRTNYT. You could understand why I would make that. And also, yeah. Sorry. Sorry for calling you Fortnite. I imagine that was not nice to hear. But thank you for enjoying my music nonetheless. Cool. All right, let's move on. We got Bleed Sorry. Wait a second. It's saying I'm sorry, and I just said I'm sorry for calling you Fortnite. This is another one of those serendipitous moments. It's not quite in the same tier as the piss prediction, but this is a pretty serendipitous moment. This is, okay, I'm sorry for calling you Fortnite, and this is the song that I'm playing. Like I'm like standing outside of your window holding a boombox, and it's playing this song. Yeah, that was dope. Sounds really good. I enjoyed that. I think. Okay, this is my suggestion. Okay, the first thing that came to mind was that the kick. Right here is very transient-y. Right there, right in the 3 kilohertz range. It's very clear. Once the track kicks into the rest of it, it doesn't sound like an issue. But right there, where everything is still kind of like dark and building up, that transient is really slicing through in a very sharp way. Like it makes sense there because there's a lot more stuff to cut through, and it's almost like taking an axe to a piece of butter. It's like you don't have to cut it that hard. Like back here, we got some soft butter. Right, the rest of the track is soft butter, but you're hammering it with an axe or a hatchet or something. But then once we get here, now we're into like a meatloaf, and maybe we need an axe. You know, I can't say that I've ever cut a meatloaf with an axe before, but I do think that it would be a more appropriate tool for a meatloaf versus soft butter. I hope that makes sense to you. My next thing, my biggest note on this track is that it never really breaks down. Like the track is, it's emotional, and it's, I'm sorry. And there's like, there's a lot of melodic stuff happening. There's kind of a breakdown in this section, but it never really gets away from like the bumpiness, right? I kind of feel like if you broke us down, it doesn't have to be a huge chilled out breakdown, but pulling the beat out and pulling some of the sub range out and focusing more on the I'm sorry line. And if you if you did the vocals yourself, maybe you could elaborate. I don't know. It doesn't need more words, but there is an option to elaborate a bit. I'm sorry, so sorry. Like even just that with a breakdown section could be dope. And then by the time we get back to this last drop section, we're gonna be wanting it more. We're gonna be wanting it harder. We're ready with our battle axes to take on the meatloafs of the world, and not the artist Meatloaf. He's great. I used to have a Meatloaf tape in my Subaru, my '97 Impreza, and I would blast "Bad Outta Hell" on the 3 working speakers, and it was great. And I have a lot of great memories in that car. But anyway, that has nothing to do with this. That's my suggestion. Have a breakdown section, get all fucking melodic, and let us sink our teeth into the vocals and the melodic stuff a bit more, build us back up, and then slam us in the face with this sick sound design. Yeah, that's sick. It's a really fun track. Those are my only notes. Kick drum too sharp at the start, and give us a breakdown. A more breaky breakdown. Sick. All right. Thank you for sending. Moving on. We got Bass Freak and D Triple J. Like DJJ, like DJ. We got another axe. We got another axe kick drum here. Okay, so far, cool. This is a cool start. I think the clap is very loud because I think you can hear the kick drum ducking when the clap hits. So if you listen when the clap hits, the kick is like, whoops, whoops. Oh, sorry. Just gonna sneak behind you there. Like a Canadian in a grocery store. Oh, sorry. Just gonna sneak behind you. That's what the kick drum's doing. Okay, so again, the clap is really limiting how loud this track can be. The clap is about 4 times too loud. I think they've hit all 12 notes. That's an achievement in itself, I think. Chromatic as fuck, boy. Yeah, there's something weird going on with the clap because it almost feels like the kick gets pushed late, but I'm pretty sure it's just the master limiter coming up after reducing from the clap. You know what I mean? Like that clap hits, our gain reduction pulls way down, and then the release time makes it feel like the kick is late. So yeah, turn the clap down. Also, there's something kind of off about the side chaining. You can, yeah, I heard it before I saw it, but I can see it right here. It almost sounds like it's ducking before the kick or the clap or whatever. Like right there too, but not always. There's something kind of funky, and it may actually just be the master limiter doing funky things because of that clap. Like it might be like a look ahead compressor, and it's looking ahead and seeing that clap coming down the pipeline, and it's like, oh fuck, pull the gain down, boys. You know, it's looking 100 milliseconds ahead so that it knows what to do before it happens, and it sees that clap coming down, and it's like, damn, we're in for some shit. All right. What just happened at the end? That was sick. Yeah, I mean, the track is mischievous. It's fun. It's cool. It's weird. It really is the clap and potentially the sidechain. Look into your sidechain. Make sure that there's not some weird latency thing where like sometimes if you put like little alter boy or something, it adds latency, and sometimes if you're using FL, it doesn't adjust it appropriately, or sometimes, I don't know, it's hard to explain, but something's going on making that sidechain feel like it's happening too early. But yeah, biggest thing, that clap, go down. Clap, go down. All right, let's move on. We got Vamori, Stay Alive. Let's have a listen. Stay Alive featuring Antonio Camacho, maybe.
Just to stay alive. I'm done just to stay alive. What is real? Am I out of my mind? Blood falls when my hands are tied. 'Cause I know I will stay alive.
I broke my chair. The wheel came off of it. Let me just fix that real quick. Okay, I'm back. So that was very loud. It was really sick. I got angry at my chair for some reason. I don't know why. I think I might have some like deep-rooted I don't know, resentment towards my chair that I didn't even know about until I heard that song. And then I was like, damn, like my back hurts. It's my chair's fault. Fucking chair. And then I threw my chair. I'm also out of breath, which leads me to believe I need to exercise more. And I feel like that's true. So anyway, the thing with this track is that it's very crunchy. Too crunchy. If you look at the spectrum over here, this is pure crunch. Like this bump, the big bump in the mid range, the high range. It's too crunchy. So what I did was I went in and I really kind of squished down those frequencies. So like just kind of, you could even pull it down with an EQ. Like it doesn't have to be really compressed. And it actually becomes more powerful when you pull that down, because all of a sudden we can feel the bass more. We don't like that loudness in the mid range. We're going to turn our speakers down because that's where our ears hear the best. Right. So scooping some of that out, let's do it without, let's not do it with a compressor. Let's do it with just an EQ. And it's mostly that bass sound. Let's just put this to a normal stereo. Yeah, it's just too aggressive in the mid range. It's too aggressive in the mid range. That's my main note. Besides that, it's sick. It's a sick track, and it makes me angry in the best way at inanimate objects, which I guess is a good thing because it's better than getting angry at people like your friends or your enemies. Sometimes it's not good to get angry at your enemies. It's better to smile at them. And you can quote that if you want. Go ahead and use that quote anytime you want. Anyway, yeah, chill out on the harshness. And I bet you if you muted that bass, this bump in the mid-range and the high mids would go away. I think it's a matter of controlling the harshness of that bass. And then you're going to be good because it's a sick track. Just make it easier to turn up, you know? What's up, Rhythm Master? If that is your real name. Okay, very cool. Thanks for sending. That was dope. Let's move on to Tentotu, Torpedo. Wow, a lot of alliteration. Is that the word? Oh my God. This is a weird track. Very weird, very fun, very unique. I don't know why penis it's kind of shaped like, I don't know why the penis song is happening in chat right now. Anyway, I think it's pretty muffly. I think this track would be better if it wasn't as muffly. Yeah, there's some I don't think I can fix this with the mastering. Like there's just like this muffliness to it that it has. And you can see it over in the spectrum. So if I put this all back to normal. See this massive bottom end here, and it kind of sounds like your master limiter is having a hard time with life. I think like you can achieve the same silly aggressive sound without pushing it so hard in the master. So maybe turn your master bus off, see how controlled you can get it before it hits the master bus. So if there's like this huge snare sound that's like 10 times louder than everything else that the master effects is masking on you, turn off your master effects, go and make the mix sound as good as possible, and then hit your master limiter, and I think you'll have a much better time. But super dope. I thought it was a dope track. It was fucking weird and hilarious, especially the ending. It's perfect. It's a perfect length. 1 minute, and I think it was Mindless Self-Indulgence that said a 1 minute song is just, or a 2 minute song is just 1 minute and 59 seconds too goddamn long. Very loosely relates to this. Okay, moving on. Thanks for sending that behemoth of a song. Let's hear Rayhem Paradox Whip. All right. I love how you knew what I said, of course. That's funny. Okay, this is I love this, like, melodically, this is dope. I feel like it's missing. Okay, first of all, the clap. Why? Why? Damp cardboard clap, why? Don't like it. I don't like it at all. I feel like the sub range is lacking. Let's have a listen to just the sub range here. Yeah, it's the track feels very like this, like the high end's kind of like, you can see the shape I'm referring to over on the. So it trails off on both the high end and the low end. Oh my God. I'm so sorry, Raham. I had 2 dB pulled out of your sub range. Let's go back. That's better. It's still a little lacking, but that was partially my fault. I had 2 dB from the last track. I had 2 dB pulled out of the bottom sub range. But I still think it needs a little. It's not quite as bad. I will accept 50% blame for the lack of bottom end, but it still does need a little bit more bottom end. Yeah, straight to Joe. So yeah, don't like the clap and needs more bass. More bass, please. Purposefully chose a weird kick. FWLR trolls music producers #1. Yeah. Can you imagine? I just go in without telling anybody and pull like. Would you produce this on your phone speaker? Just joking. All right. It's cool, Raham. I definitely think you should keep going and get some vocals. Steal a vocalist and force them to sing on your track. I like it. I don't like the clap. You're right, Esmond. All right, Rage Stone, Garage, IDS, a raffle in the start.
Hey FWLR, today I've got 2 demos, but they are not very long. I need your opinion. Hope you will enjoy.
Okay, Hey FWLR.
Today I've got 2 demos.
Today I got 2 demos.
But they are not very long. I need your opinion. Hope you will enjoy. I need your opinion.
And I swear to God, it sounds like you're saying if you're obedient, which I don't like at all.
I need your opinion. Hope you will enjoy.
Okay, this is very cool, but what is going on with the kick drum? Why does it do this? What is with are you using 2 kick drums and they're like not faded together properly, or there's some phase cancellation or something? It's almost like we got like a double-barreled action here. Like Dylan, like it's almost flammy. It's distracting, you know, like I don't know if you're doing it on purpose or not, but it's a little distracting to me. Wait, I know what it is. I know what you did. You have this tiny kick drum, and then the side chain is too long for that tiny kick drum. So you have this like tiny little like the kick is So this is the kick, right? That's the size of the kick. That's the size of the kick drum sample. And then the side chain is super deep until right here. So what we're seeing is the side chain. So the side chain, I believe, if I'm right about this, I think your side chain release time is too long, causing there to be this kind of like dead area right after the kick drum hits, where the side chain is ducking and it's not coming up quick enough. I personally think that your kick could just be longer. But it's definitely a cool vibe. Like, I really like where this is going. It's very ethereal, and it's a dope vibe. It's definitely very cool. That kick drum thing is distracting me. So sort that out. I don't think there's any real argument as to like what to do, or whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. I just think it's objectively not right. But of course, that's my subjective opinion. So, oh yeah, big side chain here. Yeah, there you go. So fix that first of all, and then turn it into a song. I mean, it's dope. It's a dope vibe. but you got to make it into a song, which is probably easier said than done. It needs a melody, some sort of, you could have like some sort of lo-fi vocal thing happening. Yeah, it's dope. It's cool, and I like it. All right, let's have a listen to your second demo. I really like how you did the vinyl stop on this demo and the vinyl start on the other. That's very nice little detail. Yeah, this is super cool. An idea. When you bring in these really weird off time kind of like spastic drum stuff, sometimes it's a good idea to just have a like a small little hi-hat going something to help us keep pace, because it's a little challenging when the drums are kind of sporadic, you know, if we don't have something to anchor us to a beat. Like once you get into it, we have that off or upbeat hi-hat to keep us like in time. So if we go here, let me see if I can figure out what tempo it is. Yeah, it's 140. Okay, so here's the downbeat. Let's just go grab like a little tiny hi-hat. It doesn't have to be much. It's just something to make it so we don't need a degree in jazz to like, be able to follow along, you know what I mean? Here we go. Yeah, I don't know, like that. It doesn't really sound right, but I think it needs something. It needs something to make the beat and the tempo a little bit more more obvious. Sorry, I clicked a thing that I shouldn't have clicked. You know what? I don't even really, I think I'm just worried that it's going to sound bad. I don't think that it does sound bad, but you get the idea. I think you know what I mean. Oh, on the offbeat. Ooh, maybe that's the secret. I guess he does use the offbeat. Yes, thank you, Vamore, for causing damage to my studio. Appreciate it. Yeah, like even just like a small little beat that that helps carry us to the main beat. that's my biggest note on this track. It's both of these are really dope starts, but you got to make them into full songs. So don't stop here. Don't stop believing. Hold on to that feeling. Thanks for setting. That was sick and sweet and dope and sick. All right, we got the last one of the day. MJ, Save Me, December 9. Ooh, wait a minute. Hold on a second. It kind of works. Anyway, same key, cool. Haha, funny joke. Let's go. Yeah, so that's very deep. My subwoofer is getting a workout for sure. This I think that the snare shouldn't be super stereo wide. I think the snare should be rooted in the center of the stereo field. So let's give that a shot. Let's see if we can let's see if we can transform this beat a little bit. I don't know what the tempo is. Okay, there's the start. Oops. I don't know. What are kids making trap at these days? 150 still, or when the sub is more visual than audible? Yeah, I agree. 120. All right, let's get a snare. You know what? Let's do it. We're gonna do it. We're going for baby making, and we're gonna tune it up a little bit. So the sub is so low that we don't realize how loud it is until you play those higher notes. And then when you play those higher notes, like right here, hear how loud that is? The sub is so loud yet so low frequency that it's not sounding very loud, because even my, I don't know, $2,500 studio sub is having a hard time reproducing that frequency. But then when you move up to the higher note, all of a sudden it's in the frequency range of the sub, and the sub's like, oh yeah, I got this. Okay, so this flute is questionable. Let's have a listen. That note, it has no right being in the song. The sub, yeah, it's mostly the 808, like the sub thing that's bothering. That's bothering me. The snare, having like a solid snare in the center definitely helps. Let's actually add a kick drum. Let's just use this as an example and see how good we can get it. I don't have a sub, so guesstimate my sub. So I guesstimate my subs. Well, I mean, headphones are good for that, because most headphones will get you there. Let's get a kick drum, because I feel like it's also missing a kick drum. We have the 808, we have lots of sub, but we're not getting the punch. Let's just get a simple little trappy. So like this is like a SoundCloud rapper style beat, I guess. It's cool. I think the biggest problem is that the 808 is just so low, and then you've got some questionable musical things happening. Like that note is not right. It's not good in the song. Get some AI rap on there. I would if I knew how. This is like a trap beat to slowly devour your enemy alive to or something. You know, like it sounds like it's like medieval like carnivore trap beats. The beat isn't bad. It's mostly the musical aspect of it that I'm struggling with, because it's just, I'm not sure what key the song is in, like the down, not contact. Let's do this. So it's in F sharp. So it's F sharp G F sharp G sharp. So that's what the piano is playing, okay? Now what is this flute? So the first flute note is right. It's F. Good. We got an F. But then you're playing a D. A C would be okay. But the D just, anyway, do a little bit more research into musical scales, figure out how to make sure all your elements are in the right key, playing the right notes, etc. The beat is cool. The 808 is very, very low, too low, and I would like the snare drum to be more centered in the stereo. And I think that's all I got. Let's see what's at the end. Okay. Oh man, you should say okie dokie. Oh my god. That would be such a sick producer tag. Imagine if your producer name was Okie Dokie. Okie dokie. Oh my god, okie dokie. Anyway, okay, cool. Thanks for sending. I hope that helped. Feel free to submit again next week. Cool, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining me on this fine Friday afternoon. If you would like to get involved with the next stream and you want to have your music heard and hang out, then stop by my Discord server, which is discord.gg/FWLR music, which I'm sure is in any sort of information around above or below this video, depending on where you're watching it from. I hope you all have a good weekend. Thank you for hanging out with me. I love you all, and good night.